it's past 5 o'clock and it appears that you're the only officer here, so.
All right, let's get the meeting started.
All right, I think the first thing on your pile is the door locks. Last meeting I talked about putting a wireless electronic lock on all interior classroom doors. And I had, at that time, I had the company that's currently working on our exterior system just give me an estimate of what it'd be a door, and if you remember back, it was over $3,000 to put the fob system that we currently have on the exterior doors to hardwire all the doors. About $2,300 for a wireless system, and that is about $800 for a double lock, just a standard key lock. And I told you I was going to look into this wireless system, so I went shopping on the internet a little bit. And if you look at the color copy, I found this company called Go Keyless. And basically what they have there is that they can retrofit the wood door, which all of our doors are wood. In the picture that you see there, I mean, there's different types of knobs and whatnot, obviously, that you can choose from, but the one pictured there has a deadbolt on it as well, which we don't have on any of our doors. So the lock would actually be, to answer one of the questions that was brought up that night, there is a keyed lock on it, as well as the card system there. It is wireless, it's operated by 4 AA batteries, so if the power does go out or the batteries go dead, I mean, you can operate it with a key, but it is network. You have the ability to network it. You can lock down individual doors remotely, you can lock down all of them, that type of thing. So I think it's a pretty good system. And if you see the quote on the back end there, about $525 per door. And that is just for the hardware though, that's not installation. You'll also see Trilogy Network Wi-Fi Gateway. That's the router that there has to be one on every floor of every building. So we would actually need about 9 of them, 3 in Gilbert and 6 on this campus. Standard keys, that would be so that everyone had an actual physical key. Then the photo IDs, 100 cards per box. And then if we wanted those cards printed, they can do that, but we don't have to do that either because we have a card printer here. And then also $5,000 for on-site training, which I guess I would recommend because you need these things to actually work. So all told, I mean, the price tag on something like this would be considerably less than what I had estimated the last time we met, probably about half. The other option that would be available, and it's a black and white copy that I put on top, you can see that has a keypad, a card reader, and it's called a Trilogy lock. It has the keypad, the card reader, and actually that doesn't show it in the picture, but there's actually a key in that lock. The only advantage over this one would be the installation would be a little easier, obviously, because you're not drilling that mortise for the card reader in the door. However, these are about twice as much. They're about $1,200 a piece just for the hardware. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
$1,200 each door.
This one, the black and white copy, you see, it's about $1,200 a door.
Times 25 doors.
Compared to about 525, but installation is going to be a little more on the first one because there has to be some internal drilling there. I'm not even sure how they get that wired on there, but there's a little wire that goes from the card reader into the box there.
Installation could be huge because of that part, right? I mean, just, they gotta notch it out to put that hardware in there, and then they gotta snake a wire in there somehow. If I'm looking at this one picture correctly, it's a pretty big chunk they gotta on into the side of that.
They have to drill it. It's a double-sided card reader, so it can read from either side. So it's a hole through, but then they have to go down to the locks and run the wire on there.
Can you get a quote for like labor on that, so you can
Yeah.
compare more? I mean, are you
Did I
leaning
ask
towards
for
one
it?
way, or?
Well, aesthetic-wise, I guess this looks a little more natural,
More sleek, yeah.
more sleek on our old doors that we have here. But
This would do away with our fobs for the exterior?
No, this is all the interior doors, so the classroom doors.
Could we use these cards to swipe, there's two separate systems
You
then?
need two cards. In any application other than putting the same system that's on the exterior doors, you need two different cards. There's just not any way around that. Even the company that installed the exterior was told us.
So the interior card, that'll belong to an individual that maybe has access to 5 doors, does it have access to all the doors?
Well, this, we're looking at this for classroom doors, so yes,
Their
it
classroom.
would be their classroom.
Okay.
There, you can make a master as well, so that you can open all the doors, but
Ah,
We should be able to program which doors, just
you
like.
can program which door opens.
So actually you could open this up with a key.
You can open it up with a key.
So if somebody gets a hold of the key, they can open a door.
Yeah.
For this other one, you gotta put a code.
You don't have to
know-
put the-
You have to know the code.
I think it's a-
Well, it's a trilogy. There's a card. There's a card that looks like this. It's just a key card. Or you have the physical key, or you could punch in the code on that other one.
this-
That's on here.
On the black and white one.
Right there scans the card too.
The color one, it's just a card or the key. And we wouldn't have to have the key either, but it was asked the last time we talked about this, you know, what if the power went out?
So they don't have a price quote yet, though.
I have a price quote for, well, more than actually. This one, the colored one it's $525 a door just for the lock set, for the hardware. The other one is $1,200 a door. And then if
But
you
that includes installation.
no, that's not installation either, but I'm just saying the installation on that one's gonna be easier because there's no drilling involved.
I mean, for this second one, could we do this
Yeah,
installation?
probably, I mean,
Just because it's.
you're basically screwing it in there, putting batteries in.
And is there, on this networks one, is there a key? Is there a key?
There is an option to have a key in the door handle.
Okay, I mean, I think that's, if something was to go wrong with the unit itself, you still have that option to open it with a key.
Yeah.
I mean, that seemed to be the issue before.
Yep.
But infrastructure wise, on the technology side,
We can handle it,
we can
yeah.
just plug it all in,
Yeah.
servers and stuff are all ready for it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's, there's a picture of it, but there's basically like a little router box that you put on every floor that controls all of it. It just plugs right into the switches, and we have the, last time we did the network upgrade, we had the switch capacity for it. So basically, I mean, it's, you want the, I mean, aesthetically, I think this one's better. This one's gonna be easier to install. I mean,
Just get a price of labor and materials.
not labor and materials. Well, I got materials, but we'll have to do labor.
That I would.
The only thing with this one, I was thinking that our guys could actually do this one, where I'm not quite sure if they could
Right.
pull this off. Okay. Will do. All right, moving on to the activities director. You have a sample contract in front of you there. Basically, this is what we talked about, the $75,000 in salary. Standard benefits that all of our other employees have. The $2,300 for healthcare savings plan or 403B. 15 sick days a year, 4 personal days.
I mean, just for comment, is this position gonna get incorporated to our office staff's contract, or is this gonna be a separate one?
It could be.
Did we decide if the foreman position was gonna be pulled out, or was that we're gonna let that go?
Yeah, at the time, I mean, just for an update on that, so we did meet with that group, and I had a representative from ARC here as well to discuss mainly the separation of duties in the office. as well as the contract itself. And there wasn't a lot of concern over the salary that we had laid out. There was more of a concern on the healthcare benefits for that group. Because it is the lowest amongst any of our groups in the school. But that's traditionally, and it's happened that way because in the past, the people that are negotiating with don't take insurance, so that's why it got so low. So that has to be dealt with, but as far as this going on to them, it could. I mean, it's basically the same contract.
So this is for a period of 220 days per year, right?
Yeah.
How many
Same as-
hours it is, that's
Eight.
better correctly put in,
8,
8 hours a day.
And that's essentially the same schedule as the principals are on there now. They're on a 220, which is, it turns out to be all of August, obviously the entire school year, and then 2.5, 3 weeks into June. Most of July is off.
And we don't have hours in this contract, do we? I was gonna say.
So for a single, we're looking at about $87,000 roughly, right?
What's that?
For a single, we're looking at about $87,000.
Yeah.
And for a family, we're looking at about $25,000, depending who gets hired for this position.
The individual that we're recommending tonight, I don't know if I should say this or not, but she's not going to take insurance at all. So. Her only request on the contract, I already went over this with her. Her only request on it was that she wanted to go to 80,000, but we had already kind of talked about 75. Her justification was she wasn't going to take benefits, but at any given time, I mean, if it's in the contract, then she could take them. So that's not a real valid argument.
Unless she wants to take benefits out of the contract.
But that was the only debatable point, I guess, was she wanted to be at 80 and we're saying 75. So. Any questions on that? Easy group tonight. All right, moving on. You also have in front of you an assignment list for the coming school year of all our, I think all of our employees. We had to get a little creative because obviously our business teacher resigned and we didn't have an industrial technology teacher. So I mean, those are the two major changes from last year that happened. So basically in business, we had to split that up. We have numerous people, because with business education classes, a math teacher can do some of it and social studies can do some. It depends on what the class is called. So we actually had one of our special ed teachers, Miss Alyssa Blake, you can see before now. She's going to do the personal finance classes. She actually has a math license. A little bit further down, you can see George Harridan has agreed to come back again, part-time. We're on the assignments.
Okay. Is he just gonna do,
He just wants
Junior
to, well, no, he's gonna do the senior high part in the morning. And this Greg Schneider, he teaches at VOTEC over here as well. He's gonna do the afternoon part because he's got morning classes over there. He's also a retired teacher, high school teacher. The rest of it's all, not a lot of change until you get, because of the business switch, we had to move Paula Madden, because she has a K-12 business license. She's going to do some of the business courses now. So she's moving that way out of the elementary, and then Lori Quapla is going to do the elementary specialist instead of Paula. But other than that, everything, we didn't do anything extra.
Is fifth grade opening?
Yeah,
We still have people applying for that right
yeah.
now?
We're actually interviewing tomorrow.
Do you have any internal candidates that we know of too for that?
Internal candidates? Not aware. Then I guess the other thing, when you, page 3, I still have an open afternoon shift in Franklin, custodian driver. That is currently posted, we're looking for some people there. We'll get that going before school starts. That one shouldn't be too much of a problem. And we still have the plumber B open, look on the back page 4. We have had no internal candidates that want it. We've posted externally, we have nobody applied. I don't know. We're trying, but
Is that typical, like late in the summer, we start getting some hires for these positions?
this is getting a little late.
It's getting late? Okay.
Who do you say was in just elementary special ed?
Specialist,
Oh, specialist.
Lori Quattro, she's gonna do art. She's a specialist.
That has a full-time third grade teacher, shouldn't
No,
Oh,
well, she'll come out of there.
Oh, who's gonna be
Well,
the,
it's open right now, we'll have to interview and find somebody.
oh, for third grade?
Yeah.
Her name is on the third grade system.
I'm seeing 3 positions, is that accurate?
Mm-hmm, that are open right now.
We don't have Canberra numbers yet? Final?
Well, I don't get the registrations in this summer, there's 52 on the list right now, but I don't get July registrations, we go to Stacy and she's just not here, so in August there's still, if there are any more, so I'll find out.
Either way, that's kind of close to 3 sections anyway, right?
Yeah. Sorry about that. All right, we got some time this time, actually.
Did you have any more comments on the office contracts or no?
Well, I was hoping to have that wrapped up for you today, but like I said, we are working on ARC, and we're supposed to have a follow-up meeting to the one that we had, and that didn't happen last week, so come in I think August 3rd. So we'll have to wait a little bit. We're close, it's just, there's some discontent by some of them, not all of them, over the
Duties?
what's that?
The duties?
So, I think we got the duties cleared up now, pretty well. Insurance,